Hi, I'm Craig O'Sullivan, the Preacher's Coach. This is the first video in a 5-part video series where we're teaching you the message cheat sheet, a strategy used by professional speakers, TED talkers, and the top preachers from across the planet to enable them to be able to prepare a message within a fraction of the time. Some pastors are reporting that this strategy is saving them up to 75% in sermon preparation. When you first step onto stage, your audience are forming an opinion of you or your message within those first few moments. So it's integral that you grab their attention immediately. This is done by addressing their problem. Now, when I first started learning marketing, there was a term that I was taught which is called WIFM. I know it's a funny word, but all it means is what's in it for me. Because when you're selling a product or service, your audience or the person you're selling it to are instantly thinking, what's in it for me? Does this solve my problem? Does this address my needs? What's in it for me? Now, you may not consider yourself as a salesman, but as a preacher, each and every week you step up onto stage, you're selling. You're selling an idea. And you want your audience to buy into that concept so that their lives can be transformed. This is done through addressing a problem. There was another marketing, actually it was a sales strategy that I was taught, and it was called the rule of 3. The rule is that within the first 3 seconds, you need to grab someone's attention. Once you've grabbed their attention, you've got 30 seconds to engage their interest. If you've been able to do that, you've got 3 minutes to be able to connect with them. This is all done through addressing a problem. Jesus does this when he preaches with a parable. I draw your attention to the parable of the lost sheep, where he starts off by saying, a man had 100 sheep and he lost one. In that first sentence, he's addressing a problem. Now, to you and I, that may not be much a problem. But back in those days, it was a common problem. And they could relate immediately to what he was talking about. So when you're preaching from stage, it's important that you first address a problem. We do this so that we can appear as an expert. Now, what's an expert? An expert, as my father would say, is a former drip under pressure. Now, sorry, excuse the dad jokes. I can't resist. But the real definition of an expert is someone who can explain your problem better than you can. Have you ever sat in a sermon and thought that preacher must have been following you around? He must have read your mail. He must have been spying on you. Because he could describe what was going on in your life like you couldn't even describe. What did you do in that moment? You sat forward. You got your device poised to start taking notes, to hear what it was that God wanted to say to you in that moment. Now, I can't deny that this is the power of the Holy Spirit operating. But we as preachers have a responsibility to use the gifts that God has given us. And we can use our words strategically to allow the Holy Spirit to move. And so in these moments, when we address a problem and can explain it better than the person sitting in that audience, that's where you grab their attention. So to be able to grab people's attention straight away, we need to start off by addressing a problem. To learn more about how to address problems and how to use them effectively in your sermon, we have a whole session on this in our Parabology workshop, where you can learn this and a whole bunch of other professional speaking strategies to help you improve your preaching. Jump along to www.craigosullivan.com/parabology to find out more. Now in our next video, video 2 of this series, we're going to be looking at the strategy that the music industry uses to get songs stuck in our heads. So we can apply that to our preaching, so we can have our message stuck in our audience's head in the following weeks and months, and who knows, even years after you preach. So if you want to learn more about becoming a better preacher, learning professional speaking strategies, check out Parabology. My name is Craig O'Sullivan, and I'm your preaching coach.